You didn't want to know. You didn't want to know. All right, look at that. I wrote this book when I was living in Garrett County, and in between. I think I moved from Russell County in 2000 2006, and I wrote a book while I was in Garrett County the whole time until I moved from there in like 2012. And once when I lived in this place, there was a garage there, and it was a part of this educational program. It was a Division I high school, and that there was a real legitimate program, sort of like Russell Springs, but it sort of gets ran by Russell Springs. So that once when I lived there, there was these people there, and they weren't handicapped. But once whenever they left to be viewed by some people, what was viewing them for that type of a major or that type of a college credit, or whatever it's for, that like they was be handicapped in some type of a DC elevator type of a box where that people can look at them and they could be safe, and that they would know they was be safe. And that's one thing why I was offering. I helped those people and did this and did that, and I did these type of things, and I lived there, and I simultaneously never didn't know that I did. And then once whenever I wrote the book, it's real very, very deep. My friends called me Jay at Russell County and things like that. So I always wanted to know that if anything happened to me or anything like it, I would sit over there and that this dream was be true, what was so hard to be true. And that I was make all the money, and I'd be sitting in a situation driving back and forth from Russell to Garrett with more money than Tim Hughes. I wanted to be so bad situation for me if I make an NFL, but I was gonna be rich, and this I was very good writer. That's the third thing on the list. It's called The Hunger Games. Cause a lot of times when I lived in there, I was really never had a lot of food and things like as people thought I did in the community and things like that. And that the Hunger Games gonna begin with sometimes how depressed I was. I sat there and I thought, like, why I should be dead and things like that, and what's about a good pros and cons about for me. But that's a real good book, right? And that, like, it's got something to do with that. And once when you walk in the house, there was some amplifiers in there up on the TV, and the handicapped guy had nothing real what to do with me. He was just like, man, like, and shit like that. And that once whenever you go over there and you see those, that's what they're gonna use probably to cash that check in the long run about it, whatever. I knew how I was dishing to me type of information. So like Rondo watched on this DVD, that I was dishing them information, and he was sitting over there being able to being like that. I know that that's how the check could rate deposit. That's all what it would be, and that and in between here and there, I guess that the dude at the bank has to have the IRS right to be able to be like that. The IRS accounts got to guaranteed lock in those accounting and writing numbers, because they may tell you that you have an accounting and writing number. That once whenever they try to lock into those accounting and writing numbers, they tell you this and tell you that they're gonna be being like, we'll silver and try to tell you about the category writing number, and we'll silver and think that category writing number is going to be to some type of a sponsorship thing from the IRS. What's going to be something what they made up for the Chase Bank itself before it generated to a business like any type of, I don't know, regular bread and milk type of a setting, in any type of a drought when it had happened. That, like, is a violent, jarring speed rap of a novel that generates nearly constant suspense. I couldn't stop reading. Whatever the situation was, be in the house or wherever it be, that's always a sketchy situation, because they may snap back into their handicap when they never was will, or they may bother you and cause you to have to put them back into their handicap, and that you have to live there guaranteed, and that nothing can be messed up about it or anything like that. So I suggest you guys could read this book. The situation where I'm in is that, like, book called Bitter Root. I got my hands on it, and I didn't make this book, but somebody else did. It's a book called Alcoholism. So it's got something to do with the fact that once whenever I was sitting over there 3 years ago. Whenever I told you before in the last previous clip, I was sitting over there. I was sitting over there, I thought of everything, and I was selling the fact that I was genius. I was selling this, and I was selling, and I was selling, and I was selling, and I sold that I was genius like nobody else. Nobody can't beat me like very quick. Richard Eisen, none of them, they can't do. That's the person why I like a lot too. So Richard Eisen, Deuce on the Dime. So there's gonna be, it's called Alcoholism Anonymous. Now I made this book up for a lot of people. Yeah.
The camera needs to stay in the digital studio. I'm sorry.
All right, my fault.